Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in my last one, I took you probiotic and prebiotic shopping with me, and I mentioned how good it is for the gut. It helps heal it, and in return we get nice clear skin. And today I wanted to talk about literally the total opposite, which is why I regret taking antibiotics for my cystic acne. And this is something that I've been wanting to talk to you guys about it for a long time, but I wanted to make sure that I'm careful with my words. But I really feel like a lot of people don't realize how bad antibiotics is when we take it long term or when we just take it so frequently. And I feel like doctors are so quick to prescribe antibiotics for everything, you know. And I'm not saying not to take antibiotics when your doctor prescribes it. Of course, if you have an infection that's really bad and, you know, maybe you're really sick or you've been sick for a long time and you feel like, okay, it's time to get on antibiotics, then definitely do it. I just feel like we just get prescribed antibiotics for everything, you know. Acne, antibiotics. Paper cut, antibiotics. It's like everything is antibiotics for literally every cure. And I feel like for me, that definitely was the case. So my story on antibiotics is probably like 4 years ago, maybe almost 5 years ago now. I was put on antibiotics because my skin, you guys know that I had really bad cystic acne. I was at the point where I was so desperate. I know it sounds like so superficial, but I was starting in a new career and I was interning a lot. And at the time I was interning at a radio station, Hot 97 in New York. And I was so focused on like, okay, I want to make sure that when I get there, I start networking, I start opening myself up. You know, I was really shy back in the day and I just never wanted to be seen. Like, you know how like when you have acne, you just don't want to be seen at all, you know, you just like hide yourself. And I would do that all the time. I would hide myself. I wouldn't really like interact as much as I should have. I'm very social, but when my acne was at its worst, I shied away from it. And I just didn't want to deal with it. I wanted something that was going to help me get rid of it ASAP before I started this internship, you know, just to make me a little bit more comfortable and confident. So I decided to go on antibiotics. And in the beginning, my skin did purge a lot. Then it started getting clear. And it was almost like for the first time in a long time, I saw my skin clear. And I was just like, I need more. Like, I need all the antibiotics, you know. I was on antibiotics for a really long time, like almost 2 years straight. Like, oh my god, it's awful. That is so awful. And it was to the point where he would tell me, you know, it's not good for you to be on antibiotics for this long. And I'm just like, did you refill my prescription? Like, I just did not want to hear it, because the satisfaction that I got and my skin was finally getting clear, I was just like, wow, like this is it, you know, not knowing the effects that it was having on my insides. And I want to say, like, towards the end, I noticed that my skin was just not reacting to the antibiotics anymore. Like, I started breaking out again. But not only was I breaking out, like, it was something serious, you know. And I was just like, oh my god, like, is this my new face now? When it started coming back, I just got off of it completely. And, you know, I did a whole bunch of like chemical peels that worked for a little bit, came back. There's been more and more studies that link a healthy gut to healthy skin, healthy brain, and then just overall healthy lifestyle. And when we take antibiotics for something like our skin, what we're doing is really the opposite. We're hurting it more so long term, and the effects just don't last. And like I said, what we're really doing is suppressing the problem. We're not really uncovering why we're having this breakout in the first place. Heavy antibiotic use has actually been shown to promote and multiply yeast that lives in our digestive system. And what the yeast does is that it gets stuck in our digestive wall. And this can lead to leaky gut. And if you guys have never heard of leaky gut, I'm going to do my best to describe what leaky gut is in the simplest way, but I'm also going to link some articles below so you guys can check it out. So pretty much think of your intestinal wall as like a solid wall, right? Nothing can get through. Pretty much what you eat is what stays in there, right? So when leaky gut starts happening, it basically kind of looks like fishnet stockings around your intestinal wall, and little holes start to appear, right? So every time you eat something, every time you ingest something, those substances in the food that you're eating, they're leaking onto your bloodstream, and that's not good, because our immune system starts looking at these foreign objects in our bloodstream, and it starts to get overwhelmed and stressed because it knows that it's not supposed to be there. And this is how inflammation starts happening. This is how we start breaking out. This is how we end up getting sick. And this is how, you know, a lot of times we just start feeling a little bit moody, because, you know, a bad gut also affects our brain health too. I'm not saying that I had leaky gut, because I was never officially diagnosed, but you know, I started getting a lot of inflammation. I started breaking out even more after my antibiotic use. I started getting a lot of tummy aches. I started getting a lot of foggy brain. You know, I started getting so tired. And you know, no matter how healthy I ate, I felt like, why do I still feel like this? You know, I'm eating healthy. But like, again, it's not all about eating healthy. It's about what I talked about in the last video. It's about, now we have to replenish the good bacteria. We have to replenish the probiotics, the prebiotics. We have to replenish certain vitamins that we lost, because also I've read that when you do have leaky gut, it's very hard to absorb the nutrients in our food. So no matter how healthy we're eating, if we have like leaky gut or gut issues, we may not be absorbing all the nutrients that we need in order to heal our bodies. I'm gonna link also articles down below with other bad effects that antibiotics has on us, so you guys can see. You know, I just want you to be more conscious and be more careful when making decisions like, do I go on antibiotics for my acne, or should I heal it naturally? You know, I know there's so many different choices out there, and I know it could be overwhelming, but I really want you guys to be as informed as possible, because if we don't start taking care of ourselves and we leave it to other people like doctors, a lot of times they're not going to have our best interests in mind. We're the ones that have to take care of ourselves first. But yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a lot from it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions for me, make sure you leave it in the bottom bar. And if you want to connect with me more, follow me on Instagram. I'm there so much more now, on Insta stories especially, and you know, I always answer your comments. If you guys have questions, you can always hit me on the DM and I'll make sure to answer for you. I always read them, I always answer it. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't to my channel, and I will see you in my next one.